5-second board is shown. So any second now the race will get underway. There's the two front row men, Brad Sheehan furthest away from us and Niall Bradley on pole position. As the race gets underway then, and it's Sheehan that makes the best of the starts actually. Niall Bradley's going to tuck in behind him, I think, as they head up towards Riches for the first time. There's an incident though at the back of the field, I can see out of a commentary box window, but the leaders making their way up towards Riches for the first time. They're all streaming through there. There's one car that didn't get away, but I think is going to leave the scene, which is the 12 car of Justin Middleton, I think, that was caught up in that incident just off the start line. But the race is well underway, and the leaders already negotiating Wilson hairpin for the first time.
Yeah, that's right. It got all a little bit busy off the start line. That's the first time there's been a start line incident here at Snetterton. I don't think it was too bad. There's the dust down the straight down towards Agostini. The leader locks up, Brad Sheehan, but he turns through. Not too bad, I don't think. So the rest of the field stream down towards Agostini's. Paul Travers, there you can see, leading Class 6 with Ben Pearson. I think was starting from the pit lane, was he still? Leaders having a moment there. That was both Bradley and Kerry, wasn't it? Out over the curve. We know in the previous race, parts of this part of the track is a bit slippery. So the leader, Sheehan, turns in. Yeah, Kerry's sideways. Branson's off. Where is that?
It's hard to tell with all the dust in
halfway down the straight, isn't it? Between
the Tyrrell Straight, as you decided to call it, I think. The straight between Palmer's and Agostini is pulling in into the pit. So Brian Branson's race is which is a shame because we'd have enjoyed seeing him come through from the back of the field. So it's Brad Sheehan leading. Niall Bradley is second. It's the car of Rick Kerry in third place. Fourth is Paul Cook, but Sheehan in the pink and white car leads. But there's the 12 car. That was the car that was involved just off the start line, just in Middleton. He pulls off as well into the paddock.
Saw that car was another road registered car. Not sure if that's a car that's been driven to the track or not. Hopefully gets home okay. So leaders turn their way down towards Murray's. Not much between the two of them, between Niall Bradley and Brad Sheehan. It's Sheehan in front, isn't it? There's one over from the outside of the front row. But third, it's close. Rick Kerry and Paul Cook, nose to tail, as they blast their way up towards Ritchie for the first time. Yeah, it looks like we've already had 14 minutes of this race, doesn't it? So there's only 6 minutes of it to go. So probably about 3, maybe 4 laps of the race distance. And it's Kerry versus Cook then on the outside line. Paul Cook trying to go right round the outside at the Wilson hairpin. That didn't really work out for him. So they stay in the same order. Then it was Mike Eustace and David Kempton that completed the top 6. Paul Travers led Class 6. Obviously only one M2 runner now, which is Sean Jackson, and Cole McMillan leads the Cup class. As
Brad Sheehan and Niall Bradley arrive at Agostini for the second time in this slightly shortened race for the BMW Car Club Racing Championship. Rick Kerry has Paul Cook right behind him there. It's Mike Eustace, number 80, in 5th position. And David Kempton in 6th in the invitation class car. But here's the fight for third. Then Rick Kerry, local driver from Suffolk, with Paul Cook right behind him. He was saying he's only really got the car on song towards the end of this season. When we heard from him earlier on today, that was after his victory in the road sports race. And a little bit further back there, that's you can see Jazz Sapra with David Kempton behind him. So those two have swapped around on this lap already. Jazz Sapra in the number 41 grey car getting ahead.
Race leaders turn into Brundle and then Nelson with Sheehan and Bradley. Not much separating them. The gap was 8 tenths at the start of the lap. Rick Kerry is sideways, trying to put the V8 power down on the racetrack. And Paul Cook looks pretty racy to get past him. He in turn is pretty sideways. So not terribly sure how much grip there is out there at the moment, but they stay in the same order. The leader's close, the battle for third is close, but nobody trying too much of a move into Murray's. Paul Cook leading in the car, you can see as he turns his way through Murray, but he can't find a way past him. Maybe the more powerful 1 Series. The leaders go through. There is the 205s on that first line lap, which is not far off actually the earlier race, despite perhaps there not being huge amounts of grip from our viewpoint on the circuit, but obviously there is plenty. And the lead gap was less than 4 tenths of a second.
Okay, so they're on to lap 3, 2:05.08, should say, for Bradley, so a bit slower than the fastest lap from the earlier race so far. Here is Brad Sheehan then, making his way through the right-handed, but look how close it is for third and fourth. Paul Cook is really giving, Rick Kerry a very hard time. Kerry kicking up the dust there as he goes over the cement dust laid down after that incident involving Gary Purstall on the green flag lap. And then Paul Cook right behind Kerry as they turn their way through Agostini, the 1 Series, the 8 Engine 1 Series, and the BMW M3 just behind. There's that battle turning its way through Hamilton now, and to the right-hander at Oggies. It looks like there's a little bit more daylight between Kerry now in the number 2 car and Paul Cook in number 26 as they turn their way through Williams again and onto the Bentley straight once more. But they are about, these two, 4 seconds behind the leading pair of Sheehan and Bradley.
Good battle for the 6-cylinder class we might be able to pick up on soon, because Paul Travers in 77 just ahead of 30 Dan Harborough and 43 Stephen Schleichart. So the class 6 leaders on track pretty close together. You can see through shot there the champion coming from the back, Ben Pearson. He's 18th overall. He is 20 seconds behind the 6-cylinder leader, so I don't think he'll catch them, will he? But there'll be a new Class 6 winner for this year. It could be any 3 of them because they're all together. Oh, and somebody's not together on the track.
And heading into the direction of the barriers, but avoiding it, and hopefully back onto the circuit without too much in the way of damage. That is the 60 car then going through, which is Carl McMillan in the Cup class, and just behind him at the moment is, that's number 16, Andy Wynn, isn't it, in the car from the invitation class, the E46 330 CI, one of several invitation class winners that we have here this weekend.
And Clive Watson there, the Cup class leader by some way, I think, by 4 or so seconds.
Although Clive Watson showing us in class 6 this weekend.
Cole McMillan, I should say, shouldn't I? That's the Cup class leader.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's Mark Coleman, who didn't do the earlier race. So he's coming through from the back. So he's gaining positions. And
a change there. Paul Cook has gone through to 3rd place ahead of Rick Kerry. We didn't see how that started, but it's happened at Palmer there. Kerry took right back in behind him, though, as they head down to Agostini on lap 4 of this race. So new 3rd place by Paul Cook, but they are now about 6 seconds behind Brad Sheehan and Niall Bradley, and Sheehan in turn has over a second in hand over Bradley.
That 6-cylinder class has spread out a bit on that lap. Paul Travers getting away from Dan Harborough. So Travers looking for his first win of the season, and that looks like it could be a possibility. But there's 3rd, 4th and 5th. Mike Eustace not far away, is he, from Rick Kerry?
He's not.
So here's our Cup class leader going through again. That's Cole McMillan, isn't it?
I wonder if Kerry and Cook just fell over each other a little bit, because Eustace was 2.3 seconds behind them at the start of the lap.
Right. I noticed McMillan actually now only just ahead of Paul Laramie, so obviously all those faster cars have got past him, and that's allowed the 2 Cup class leaders to get together. Here's Ben Pearson. As he up to now, he's still in 18th, but that lap was quicker, and he's catching a load of cars now with Sean Jackson, the M2 runner, in front, and Kevin Granger there as well. Meanwhile, there's a good battle out there for 6th place, because Jazz Sapper and David Kempton have got themselves together. The 2 E46 M3s.
Brad Sheehan and Niall Bradley are coming up to the line, and we'll see when this race finishes, because we're almost at the 20-minute mark as things stand, so they may be going to the last lap, or we may get a little bit more. We'll have to wait and see what the officials decide, but there is Brad Sheehan. The gap has come down this time to 0.69 seconds, because Niall Bradley has now done the fastest lap of the race at 2:05.06. So he's taken quite a little bit of time out of Brad Sheehan, of course, the race 1 winner, and it's the champion within that class as well. Waiting for them to come down towards Palmer, and there's very little to choose between them. Some exciting action you can see in the background as well, with 2 cars side by side on the way up to Wilson, but we'll just stick with the overall leaders for the moment.
I think that was Sapper and Kempton. It was quite exciting out the window into Ritchie's for them as well. Yeah, but there's a gap coming down again, hasn't it, between Sheehan and Bradley. These have been the 2 form men of the BMW Car Club racing season. As you said earlier, the only driver otherwise to win has been Lee Piercy, and that was in the wet. So these 2 have won every dry race we've had this year, and they're 8 seconds ahead of Paul Cook, who's rapidly pulled away from Rick Kerry. So we think this is the last lap of the race, so we'll see how that goes. So through the Williams corner and onto the Bentley straight they go. Bradley, the faster driver on the previous lap, but being caught by, chasing after Brad Sheehan, so he is, as they turn then into Brundle. Is there a bit of a lock up there for the leader, Brad Sheehan? He's up over the curbs, but then Bradley's sideways behind him. So all exciting stuff. And there you said earlier, big hairy cars to drive. They're on treaded tyres here as well, so it's great to watch them as they turn their way through Coram Curve. They've got a slower car not far in front, which perhaps they'll have to deal with, but through Murray's it is Brad Sheehan in front, Ian.
As the checker flag is being prepared, I can see down below our commentary box, and I think it is going to be shown. Yes, it is, because the 20 minutes has elapsed to Brad Sheehan then, who wins the final round of the 2021 BMW Car Club Racing Championship. He holds on to beat Niall Bradley by only 0.51 seconds in the end. Third place is going to go the way of number 26, Paul Cook. Fourth place, number 2, Rick Kerry. Mike Eustace, who was close behind him not so long ago, he is a little bit further back in the end in 5th position in the number 80 car. And here's Jazz Sapra and David Kempton battling over the final position inside the top 6. It's going to be Jazz Sapra, number 41, that holds on. David Kempton, though, wins the invitation class in number 11, 7th place overall, much to the delight of his sponsors, SmartFi, watching on from the States, no doubt. And then it should be Ronan Bradley that comes through next, but there's Dan Harborough coming through, Josh.
Yeah, he's trying to grab the 6-cylinder lead away from Paul Travers. So both of these drivers looking for their first win of the season, but it looks like it's going to be the BMW Compact, isn't it? Which got the 6-cylinder engine in of Paul Travers. But he's had a good battle here with Dan Harborough. He's trying everything to get alongside, but he's not quite close enough. And then Stephen Schleichart not far behind, and he will get a podium. I think this is his first weekend of the season in the championship. Already the leaders are being urged into Parc Ferme, and Ben Pearson comes up across the line. He definitely is the champion of the BMW Car Club racing season. The former Ginetta race, I think the BMW Compact Cup thereafter, but now in this BMW C30. And he's been very successful this year.
I'll let you get your breath, Josh. Yeah, but Sheehan it was that took the win by half a second. Car still coming through, of course, at the end of what was a shortened race, just 5 laps in the end because of the delays to the start. The one driver in top number 7 didn't really enter was Ronan Bradley, number 78, who came across the line in 8th position. This car's coming extremely across the line now, including, I think that was the 16 car of Andy Wynne. He's not finished inside the top 20, but nevertheless he's enjoyed a good day today. What happened within the Cup class in the end?
That would be Cole McMillan that won that, so he did hang on, the driver that won the championship, and he only beat Paul Laramie by just over a second, so that was a pretty close race. But a nice way there to end the season after a bit of a delay early on, but once we got the race underway, everything seemed to run pretty smoothly. So that was good stuff, and a win for Brad Sheehan. So I'm sure he'll be pleased to take a victory, although he wasn't able to win the M1 Championship. Did win the race.
He did. It was his 6th victory of the season. Niall Bradley had 7. And it was 28 Brad Sheehan taking the win from 47 Niall Bradley in 2nd place. Paul Cook, number 26, it was in 3rd, ahead of number 2 Rick Carey. Mike Eustace, 80, and Jazz Sapra, 41, completed the top 6. Those are all Class M1 cars. The 2 invitation class cars next, David Kempton, number 11, and Ronan Bradley, number 78. Then Paul Travers and Dan Harborough, the first 2 6-cylinder cars, and Travers it was getting his first class win of the season. 43, Stephen Schweikart completed the Class 6 podium, ahead of Bill Redrop. Mark Havers was 13th, Stuart Pinewell 14th, Clive Watson 15th, then Ben Pearson up from the back of the grid, the champion for this year though. Sean Jackson, the only M2 class car, he was 17th overall, ahead of Cavan Granger, Saranga Sotishvihari, and Mark Coulmer, number 66. And further back, Andy Wynne was 21st, then Carl McMillan winning the Cup class. Second in the Cup class was number 31, Paul Laramie, and William Lake took 3rd in the Cup class, and that was number 4. So that's all the BMW Car Club racing that we're going to have for this season.
Down here then with our race winner from that final BMW race of the year, it's Brad Sheehan who takes the victory. Brad, many congratulations. Roles reversed from race number 1. You outdone Niall that time.
Yeah, I actually got a start. So that's what it's down to be honest. It's that close between us. I mean, 0.1, 0.2 is a second a lap. So, I mean, it's good fun. As long as you get, I mean, the start of the year, I run away with it a bit, and I just kept getting good starts and getting away from trouble. And then I've had a bit of a few mishaps off track excursions and problems with the car, and now we kind of got it back to where it should be. But no, I'm happy with that. Glad to take a win right at the end of the season again. So And congratulations to Niall, he's won the championship as well, so he only had to start that race, so fair play.
You've had some good battles though, you and Niall, especially this weekend. It's been pretty close.
Yeah, we've had a lot through the year actually, and it's got a little bit heated at a couple of occasions, but we're good friends still, so it's all matters, I suppose. But yeah, no, we're pushing each other, put it that way. You're on the limit the whole time, and it's one mistake and the other one's through. So I mean, limited braking and everything. So I'm really happy driving with the pressure behind you like that and enjoying it at the same time. That's the main thing. So as long as you're enjoying it, you're doing good.
And as you said, a nice way to end the year. What are the plans for next year? Anything in the pipeline yet?
We'll be racing another BMW championship as well. We've got one more round of that next week, and that's that season over, and hopefully we get the win in that championship. We were battling for this one, but we had a couple of DNFs and what have you, so no, but fair play to Niall, he's my main man, to be fair. So but yeah, we probably will come back to this championship next year. Whenever I do a full season, it gets a bit crammed sometimes, the amount we do, because I've got a house to build, so I need to stop racing my car.
Well, nice way to end the year, and congratulations on the win, Brad.
Yeah, thank you.